Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, we're already off to a good start. There we go, as the cameras slowly load in. Hello, my friends, and welcome to another D.VA 8 My podcast. My name is Bull Skunk, alongside Knight Rider Airborne and two very special guests here today. From the Apollo organization, we have the Clean Turd and Rugby. Hello, my friends. Welcome.
Everyone.
Hello.
Thank you for
Guys,
having us.
welcome.
Thanks for having
Uh,
us.
it's an absolute pleasure to have you guys here. We got the champs in the house. If you guys didn't know, the champs are here. To quote a Mr. John Cena. Um, oh, we're just gonna get right into the meat of it. So, Rugby is the captain of Tier 3 and owner of Apollo. The Clean Turd is the captain of Tier 1 Apollo. So, normally I would start with tier one, but since Rugby, you are also the captain and owner. How does it feel to have a full Pete tier?
Um, Honestly, it's amazing because I didn't come into this expecting such a result that we did get. Um, Honestly, I'm still blown away by it. I still think about it since it happened. It's honestly very incredible that we were able to do what we did. Um, Honestly, like I said, I didn't expect to get that far. I was just happy with just making playoffs, honestly. But then obviously when you get to that point, you want more, and we're able to get that done. So honestly, it's an incredible feeling. I never felt anything like this in my life. So yeah, it feels really good.
It was awesome. I loved that y'all released the comms during that final fight. That was epic. That I mean, just grinning from ear to ear listening to that. That was so fucking epic. I loved it.
Speaking of
Yeah, it's definitely one of
epic,
my favorite videos.
speaking of epic, please tell me that when you guys first started, you guys said Avengers Assemble.
No, we should have. We should have.
Missed
We definitely should
opportunity.
have.
Oh my
It was a
god.
missed opportunity. If we did,
Hindsight's
that would have been
2020,
the
my man.
comms.
Hindsight's 2020.
So if you guys who are not part of Apollo and who have not seen it, Apollo went out and made a Avengers Apollo poster and put Hairball's face down there as Thanos and all
Oh, it was
the
so good. I
Yeah.
mean, talk about winning the internet. I've got to find it here. Just give me a second. I will pull
it
this up because
was
that was absolutely winning the internet. There it is.
100%. Yeah.
There it is. Okay, let's get back up on stream.
so
Does
I
that
get
work? There it is.
How'd you get Hairball's face?
So he did a. I don't know if you guys remember that thread a little bit ago on Twitter. It was like the face to main. He posted a picture, and we asked him. It was a really funny picture, and it was so perfect for the pose that Thanos had. And we asked him. And we expected a complete no from him, but he was such a good sport about it. He goes, "Yeah, honestly, that'd be a really good idea." And he was really good sport about it. He thought it was really funny. So yeah, he said we could use it, so we did.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, that's fantastic.
all of our cameras broke, by the way, when I did that.
Yes, oh they
Uh,
definitely did.
Worth.
It's
So
completely
worth.
it.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
just a quick
absolutely.
thing. Also another quick thing. These are Apollo's first two championships, right?
They are, yeah.
This is your second season since being formed, right?
Yeah, so our first season was in season 6 of CGL.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive congratulations and definitely winning the internet with that. I had to come out and make some casting jokes about the yellow button being the Mind Stone on the controller and Hairball snapping his fingers and half of your team disappeared. And there were some good jokes in there.
I
Jokes.
expected nothing less.
Okay, so in chat, Guile is asking you to explain who is each person. Yeah, poster.
Let me see if
You
I
want
can.
me to explain who's who?
Yeah, I think they want to explain who's here. I'm gonna use a different screen until I get the cameras fixed on that particular screen. So unfortunately, Rugby, you won't actually be on cam for a moment, but you can still explain.
That's perfectly fine.
You can still explain.
I'm sure. I'm
Yeah,
sure the
let me-
employees in Apollo are okay with it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of truth or a little bit of reasoning behind the behind each person and what they got. So mine is actually my passport picture that I took ages ago. It's really awful, but they put me on Captain America because I'm the captain, right?
Right, that
We
makes
actually
sense.
had
Makes sense. Makes
yeah
sense. Yep,
yeah we had Jesse one on
looks
the
nothing
Ant
like you.
Man. Yeah, it looks nothing like me now. I've grown out my hair. Jesse
Yeah,
one, he's
quarantine.
Ant Man because he's really short. Yeah, the quarantine hair. Yeah, so Jesse one's really short, and so that's why we have him as Ant Man. Actually had Gia as the Hulk. He was really prominent about being the Hulk, so we let him be the Hulk. Um, we had Fear be Thor because he's always like a really aggressive like kind of person.
Reddit
We had
Lucio.
Lucky. Yeah, Reddit Lucio, 100%. We had Pierre be Doctor Strange because he like oddly looks really good in that. It almost
It
doesn't
really
look
does. That was the
he
first thing
does.
I
Yeah.
said too. Like, it looks like he's in a Halloween costume. Like that, he can totally rock that
Yeah.
Halloween costume.
That's what we all said. Yeah. Then we had Duxity as Iron Man to be like the second kind of leader of the team. Had Hydra as Spider Man. Just because he's like kind of resembles not like resembles him, but like kind of acts like him in a way. And then we had a Trevor as Groot because it'd just be really funny, just because of the way that picture is. And then we had Beej as
Beej
Black Widow.
is Black Widow
Yeah.
is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, other than
Beej
Thanos
Widow.
himself, which even the expression on Hairball's face is just so perfect for this photo.
I know.
It's so good.
Okay, so Guile, that is not Woody. That's Groot.
Yeah, it's Groot.
Woody.
You need to get some your eyes checked. Dude, that is just beyond perfect. That's absolutely hilarious. Beej, I don't know what happened, but good job, man. You were very well endowed.
Oh no, that is, I mean, winning the internet, best thing I've seen all year, hands down. Yeah, truly best graphic ever. Truly best graphic ever. Well done. Well
Just
done,
sounds
very,
great.
Sarah.
Real
Very
quick,
well done.
real quick.
Liked.
Who thought of this? Who thought of this?
So it was kind of my idea at first, and then I kind of was jokingly said it in our group chat, and then we all kind of like jokingly kept saying who's who, and then V actually offered to do it, and they're like, oh yeah, this will look good. And it's weird because when we're gonna post it, we thought everyone was just gonna like cringe at it. I thought everyone was gonna think it was stupid, but then
Nope.
like everyone really liked it, and so because like at first it was just funny to us, and then
Right.
like that's why we thought it was gonna be cringe to everyone else because it was almost like an inside joke. But then everyone loved it, and it honestly
it's
was really surprising
awesome.
how many people loved it.
I'd props
Yeah,
to
but
Hairball, honestly, for being such a good sport. I
Mhm.
mean, the guy
will
gets
say
a bad
this.
rap,
Really good
but
sport for it.
props to
Hair-
Hairball for being such a good sport
Mhm.
about it.
I'm gonna
He's
be
really
completely
good
open about
about
this. Hairball can be an asshole sometimes, but he's not as bad as people think.
Right.
I agree, 100%.
Right.
We had a talk after the game and everything, and whatever beef we had, we squashed. So actually after that
That's
and
all
letting
to
us
hear.
use the picture for the graphic, we squashed everything. Had just buried it, and it was honestly really relieving to have after the game and everything.
Every scene needs a bad guy.
Real
Yeah, of
quick,
course.
just a little behind the scenes, Rugby. Will you lift your camera up a hair? I feel
Yeah,
like we're
yeah,
getting
gotcha.
more neck than face.
Yeah, I got you.
There we go. Thank you, my friend.
Oh my god.
Of course.
Oh man, no, that was good. That was absolutely epic. All right. So on to tier one. Not to leave
Not
Clean
to take
Turd
away
out
from
of this.
anything, but
Yeah,
you're not the only winner. You're not the only winner.
you're not the only
so-
one, Rugby.
I know.
Which is, I'm sure you'd like to be the only one to win.
He's
No.
a wiener.
I do like Spotlight a little bit.
Mad Max can't get enough of that rugby neck.
Oh.
Hey, clean turd. So field. So actually, if you guys want to, be technical about it, Clean Turd's actually the one who brought the championship first to Apollo, not Tier 3.
Well, I mean, the
Yeah.
tier one match was first.
Yes.
So how does it feel to put Apollo on the board? You carried Apollo now.
It feels amazing. Like being a part of Apollo as an org is amazing in itself. And even getting to the finals of CGL for us as the tier one team, that was a massive achievement for us. Like
Yeah.
we were going up against teams that were that had diamond players. Some had masters players. All that grinded up from tier one at the moment. there's only 2 players that are moving up, and none of us are in Diamond. We had no expectation to even get to the final, and getting to the final in itself, as I said, was a massive achievement. I mean, winning it was not in our sights at all. Like, we went into the game and I just said, look, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, we got to the finals and we've done so well. Like, let's just have some fun with it. Let's just play what we play and just do what we do and yeah, it just came out and we managed to win it. It was not in our expectations at all.
Dude, well, props on you. Like, huge.
Just have fun,
Absolutely
man.
massive. And that's the
That's
way
the
to do it, right? Just one fight at a time, one map at a time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, we went into Ilios and Ilios is one of our best maps, and they picked Ilios first, and we were like, right, okay. We lost Ruins because, well, no, I can't remember now. But anyway, it was after that first map win that we thought, oh, shit, like we could actually do this.
It hits you after a bit. It's just like you kind of just get so entranced into the competitiveness and everything of that sort that you just look at it and you're just like, oh, we're gonna win or we can win.
Yeah, completely. Like,
I was gonna apologize. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Clean Turd. I was responding to chat.
no, go
'Cause-
ahead.
No, I've been calling, I guess, Gil.
Yeah, it's Guile.
I've called him Guile all year long, and I feel like I'm being told I was wrong.
Yeah, so is actually how you say it. He's Mexican, so it's like hard. I've always tried. I never understood like how to
Gilye.
actually, like it's
Gia.
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 Okay.
Gia,
Gia.
yeah, that's how he's always said it. But like, it's always been hard for me to try to like tell someone through text how to like pronounce it. So I just let it go, and we all just let it go.
Actually,
But
when you
yeah,
said, I
that's
mean,
how-
I'm from Texas, so once you said Spanish pronunciation, it immediately clicked.
Yeah.
But it is spelled like the English word guile, right? Like identical. I mean,
Yeah.
which means to have,
Mhm.
have some balls, right? You have guile.
Yeah.
Isn't that gall?
Have the
Isn't
Guile.
that gall?
Yeah, I guess guile is more. I mean, kind of. Not. I mean, they're similar. They're similar. I kind of want to bring up descriptions now. Like having guile is having brass. It's. I mean, it's a little bit of almost. It's like brazen. I mean, gall I think is just like straight nerve, but guile is more. I don't know. There's more
Yeah.
arrogance involved or something. Like there's more like. Chest puffing and all that stuff. So anyway,
Don't say oof. The Dallas Fuel, they won.
Dallas Fuel look
You-
great.
Okay, so if user, big oofs to you last night, my friend, when I beat you in a Widow 1v1. It happened. Happened.
All right. No, arrogance
With
wasn't the
getting
right
off-
word. Arrogance wasn't the right word. That's not. It's the confidence to back it up where it's almost not quite overconfidence, but yeah, it's more like overconfidence. Yeah, this is the difference between overconfidence and arrogance. Agreed, Mad Max. Audacity. Yeah, but audacity seems to be more like he had the audacity to do that. Not like guile is like he had the guile to do that. Anyway, moving on.
Moving
Ah.
on.
Shall we talk about Al? We started kind of bringing up the Dallas Fuel here.
Yeah. If we're gonna talk about that, let's move into Owl. So, I did pretty good with my predictions.
We need to start actually keeping track of our preds, but we'll save that for another time.
After a while because all the layoffs and everything.
Oh boy.
But yeah, the charge.
Yeah, Charge looked great. That was week 21, wasn't it?
We're on week. Yeah, that was week 21. Yeah, the charge looked great. The Shanghai Dragons looked great. The London Spitfire stomped the Spark. Holy crap!
Mm-hmm.
So
The Spitfire have been doing pretty decent.
As of late, yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
They
lately,
have
yeah.
been,
The Houston Outlaws almost did it.
Yeah,
They almost did.
they
yeah,
put up a
they
good
almost had it.
fight. They put up
They
a
did.
darn good fight. I'm trying to pull up the last week's scores right now as we speak.
So as soon as Bullskunk gets that up, we can quickly through this.
I'm working on it. Here. We're just gonna use that
Send
one.
it to him once already, Airborne.
You just gotta keep sending it.
I'm not
Yeah.
using your links. I'm just typing the crap in.
Send it.
There we
Is
go.
Our link's not good enough for you?
It was just
And,
quicker for me to open the browser and type it. I didn't even realize you were sending links. All right.
Just start spamming Bull Skunk.
You can try. I don't promise to respond or even acknowledge it. All right.
Ooh.
Ooh, we got a
Yeah.
gift.
Oh,
user-
nice. User report with a gifted sub. 3 total in the channel. And it went to Guille.
Very nice.
Did I say that right? Shoot.
Yeah.
Guille.
Yay.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Great,
much.
starting
No,
us
seriously,
off.
that's huge, though. Thank you so much. All right.
Starting us off. Charge over the Hunters. We kind of saw that one coming. Hunters have looked lost.
And Charge
recent
stonks are
weeks.
on the rise. Charge look how
Yeah.
I've been expecting them to look all year.
Happy.
Yeah.
They look-
Happy's doing happy things, man.
Happy doing happy things. Murdering your hopes and dreams. Um,
Speaking of murder, Shanghai murdered Seoul. That no big surprise on that one.
Yeah, we saw that coming.
We all saw
But
that
this one, I don't think anybody got this pred right.
nope.
Did anybody choose London Spitfire to beat Hangzhou, much less 3-0 them? Like,
I did.
woo.
I think
I would've
we,
picked
I
it,
think
but I'm
Knight
not
Rider
surprised.
did, but he predicted it. I think he predicted it to be 3-2.
I did.
No one expected the 3-0. The 3-0 was just
Wolf
something that we all.
Keep going. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, and then Knight Riders Houston Outlaws almost pulled it out.
I mean, against a really strong Florida Mayhem. I mean, that's actually very impressive.
We got them again this week.
Yes, you do.
Oh, that looks so much fun.
And Florida chose that map, don't forget. Or chose that matchup. Florida picked that rematch.
That's
Ooh,
Florida
Yes.
picked the rematch.
Yes.
that's
So either-
interesting.
That gives Houston the chance to upset in the Summer Showdown.
That would be a
So that-
hell of an upset. That would be an underdog story.
So
Don't get my
Houston-
hopes up. I don't need my heart broken, okay?
Watch
No, I mean,
Houston.
it's a tall
Hey.
order. Hey, Dallas isn't doing a whole lot better, all right?
Hey, Houston got or Dallas got a 3-0. So
Oh, yeah, but we played Toronto.
True.
happy Canada Day, guys!
Happy Canada Day. That's actually true. It is Canada Day. Sorry
is
to any
Canada Day.
Defiant fans out there. I actually love Surefour, but whatever.
I don't know what the Toronto Defiant are doing. I
It-
don't.
Yeah, I mean, Agility starts to look like he's going to do something, and then, Brady's out, so.
Hey, the Justice got a map.
They did.
It's better than Boston did.
Boston got 3-0'd by Vancouver. Vancouver looks good, and then you get on later on in the week, and I'm sorry. I don't know where
I thought Vancouver put up a pretty good fight against Atlanta.
the
Vancouver's
first map.
Vancouver's
map was
3-0
really
over
close.
Boston was way more dominant than Atlanta's 3-0 over Van.
Yeah, no, it was.
Vancouver won fights. Like, they were getting kills, they were winning fights. They just didn't take any maps.
Washington, takes a map off. Shanghai 3-0 is the Spark, so the
What is
Spark
going
are
on with the
0-6.
Spark? Yeah, going
Spark-
0-6
Yes,
this past
they're-
weekend?
Ooh.
Very
bad.
uncharacteristic of this team.
Yeah.
They go 0-6, and that's not fun.
Bueno. Oh, good.
And
guys.
then I'm pretty sure the Spark now next week. Who are they gonna have to face? Just like they're
next-
0-6. Next week they're facing the
Dynasty?
NYXL.
Oh, in Excel. Okay.
Oh gosh.
But
Nixel's
Spark-
not doing
Spark-
well themselves.
the Spark beat NYXL not last week but the week before.
It's true.
Yeah,
Very
they
good
could.
point.
I think they could lose again to NYXL. I think NYXL are gonna probably pull it out though.
And then Chengdu Hunters again looks lost against Seoul Dynasty.
You just
We got the good Soul Dynasty that day.
so
yeah,
I'm gonna
Seoul's
put
such
this
a
out
coin
there.
flip.
Put this out
Yeah.
there. Apollo Tier 1 could probably beat Chengdu Hunter now.
That's a lie.
Probably.
I remember watching the because I'm a London fan because UK, but I was watching the.
I couldn't
Spitfire-
tell.
Yeah, I was watching the Spitfire play the Hunters, and it made me a bit sad, even as a Spitfire fan. Even as a Spitfire, I can't talk. Even as a Spitfire
But it's just like I sit
fan,
here and I'm just like the Hunters have good players like Leave and
Dude,
Amon.
Jinmu and Leave. Like, monstrous DPS.
I don't know what's going on there.
I wanted to hear the rest of Clean Turd's thought on that, though. Like, what? You kind of felt bad for Chengdu?
yeah, just even as a Spitfire fan, like watching them dominate that game. Like I like the Hunters as much as the next man, but like it was just a bit disappointing because I thought they put up more of a fight. And I'm not putting down London at all because they're my team. But they've been a bit iffy this season. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but it was nice to see on my side anyway.
And then, like, moving on, you got the NYXL just the Charge eking out a game against the NYXL.
Yeah, that had to be a great match. I've had to get up early for the past few weekends, so I haven't really gotten to catch as much of the APAC Overwatch as I would have liked.
I just watched the replays.
I need to go back and watch that match. That had to be one hell of a match.
And then the LA Paris match was a lot closer than it looks.
Dude,
It was
Valiant
really
have
good
looked dominant. Valiant beat Florida last weekend. Let us not forget.
Mhm.
Valiant.
That's the one map that I got wrong.
Valiant.
Dude,
Yeah,
That in the next matchup.
I know I picked
Shaq-
Valiant on this one.
Shax is a goddamn monster on Tracer.
Sax is making an argument for the best Tracer in the league.
Like
I'm a massive Decay fan. Like,
Soon played well. Shax was better.
Shax has outplayed basically every other Tracer he's come up against. He
Mhm.
outplayed Yaki. Like, straight up.
The matchup I want to see when APEC finally starts facing NA teams is I want to see some of the APEC Tracers versus some of the NA Tracers.
Yeah,
that's what
I
I'm
can't wait to see some of
That'd
that.
be
as
really
well.
fun. Yeah.
It's like I know NYXL hasn't been doing that well, but Sabiobi has looked like a goddamn beast on Tracer.
NYXL
has
actually
been
looks
tearing
pretty
it up.
good. I mean, I'm telling you, Charge or championship caliber. I'm telling you.
And then you got
I think that's your dark horse to come back and take the whole damn thing, or the Guangzhou Charge.
I will say this.
Could you imagine?
Oh my, Guangzhou Charge winning the entire thing.
No, taking the entire. I think they are the dark horse to come through and win the entire thing.
Even over Shanghai?
Yes. No, that's why it's a dark horse. Shanghai's not a dark horse. Shanghai's like a favorite.
Yeah.
You
Yeah, I
got
say Shanghai. Like
Shanghai,
a third place.
We'll get to the other team. That's another favorite, but Atlanta Reign versus Vancouver Titans, a lot closer to.
That was a
11
lot
people.
closer than it looks. Vancouver's kind of starting to find their rhythm. Like, they're starting to.
But-
They don't look like a bottom feeder team.
Sweet baby Jesus, Urster's back, and he's back.
Baby Bay also looked really good in that matchup.
Baby
He
Bay
did,
looked amazing, and then Urster's just like, oh yeah, I can play Genji too.
Now, here's the one. The last two matches on this list are, to me, honestly very surprising for a couple of reasons. A, the matchup we have been waiting all frickin' year for. You know, that we thought, I mean, could have been, you know, like a 6-mapper just brawl, was a stomp. And I mean, wasn't even fucking close. Like, I mean, Philadelphia couldn't get a kill.
Ons is a monster.
Like, that was so dominant, and Ons is a monster.
Like we were talking about like Ocean said something last week, like, oh, Hisu's the better sniper. Ons is a monster.
That wasn't even close. I don't know if
It-
Fusion just had an off week, if they were intimidated, you know, got in their own heads or something. But, I mean, even the casters and stuff were touting this as, I mean, it was match of the week. This one's going to be tight. This one's going to be back and forth. And even during the match, they were like, yeah, this is not going nearly how anybody thought. Like, this is just as one-sided as it gets.
Yeah, no, San Francisco just came out and said, oh, this is going to be close.
Yeah. San Francisco really making an argument for best team in an A, possibly best team in the league.
Like, and I sit here and think about this. San Francisco lost an MVP, lost one of their key DPS last season, and are still the best or one of the best teams in the league.
Well, and that was something that they were talking about on broadcast as well, is they have, what do they call them, roll stars? They have 4 roll stars that they've either lost or have been benched. And they still just look championship caliber. I mean,
Their support line is ridiculous. You have Twilight,
Ridiculous.
Moth, and Violet. Like,
They had Violet on the bench. I mean, just put that into perspective.
The team is absolutely stacked. Like there's I think they're definitely the best team like in the whole like league. Like because they're so stacked in like every single role.
Yeah.
You can't really like you put anyone in there at this point and they'll still perform because it's so like it's such a stacked team. Like they go against anyone.
They didn't just have what should we call it? They didn't just have Violet on the bench. They had Moth on the bench. They had Twilight and Rascal as their support line.
They had for the most of it. They shifted Rascal between DPS and support, and I think Rascal put up like a really, really good argument for MVP of the season.
And then remember that's what Sinatra said when they were interviewing him after he had left. But he's just like, "Oh yeah, Rascal. Why Rascal? Why?
Yeah,
that's why."
No, I think Rascal's really putting up a good case for MVP of the season, especially if San Francisco can keep up that level of dominance. So now I think the big match we have to look forward to is San Francisco Shanghai.
Oh no, and then another one is, I loved last week when Ocean almost tried to argue that Choyobin wasn't the best off tank in the league.
I will say, though, Ocean and I kind of nailed our prediction on this. 100% nailed our prediction on this, and I'll tell you why. The casters went through the whole halftime crunch time thing. It was actually the analyst desks. They brought up the exact point that we were talking about, and it was if Dive was the meta last week, Philly was going to have the edge. If Double Shield was what they were going to play, Shock were going to have the edge. And Philly came out running Double Shield against the best Double Shield team in the league. And, I mean, Shock just embarrassed them. But that was purely... I think if both teams had tried to run Dive, we'd be looking at a completely different storyline. But I was proud of us because we did truly nail that point. And, I mean...
I still think Shock would have won, but it would have been closer.
It would have been a lot closer. We are short on time, so I don't want to linger on this too long, but man, was that...
Washington Justice finally won.
This is interesting to me because Boston started to look like they were pulling themselves up out of that bottom seed a little bit, and Washington was firmly planted in ranked 20th. That did not look to be the case here in that matchup. Washington actually came out and looked like a team, despite missing DPS. Whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to click that.
You just reminded me of it. How about discussing who wins Shock v Shanghai? That will take too long, and we'll
save that for another day because that is definitely a big question, and I think those are that's clearly our next big matchup to look forward to.
Absolutely.
So, and then we can just move on to next week, which is the Summer Showdown, and we can give our rapid fire predictions for these.
All right. So
we can start in the NA. We can start in NA. Let's just go ahead and start with the 4 games that we have in NA when everything loads up and everything. Whenever you're ready, Bullskunk.
It should be all loaded up and good to go. I'm thinking, if I'm just going to blast down this, fingers crossed on this one, but I'm going Dallas, Florida, Valiant, Gladiators.
If I had to go, I'm going Paris, Florida, Valiant, Gladiators.
Yeah, all the right side.
Yeah.
B, who are you going?
I think I'd have to mimic that, the whole right side. I think those are definitely gonna go through.
Well, those are your high seeds as well. I mean, this is not a coincidence.
Yeah.
Turd, how about yourself?
I'm gonna have to say the right side as well, although I'd like to see the Houston upset Mayhem.
Oh, you want to do the Houston upset?
He said he'd like to see it. I don't think he was picking it.
I'd like to see it, but I think Mayhem will win.
So everyone's right side except for Bullskunk.
I have hopes that Decay is going to be back and we're going to come out stomping.
I'm gonna go all Texas here and then all LA.
I like it. I respect that. I respect that. Yeah.
Dude, what if in the next round we get Texas versus LA just straight up?
That'd be good.
Another battle for Texas.
Yeah, right.
Battle for Texas is always exciting.
What if you get a battle for What if you get a battle for let's say Texas
battle for Texas and battle for LA? I don't know if that can happen with the seeding, but it would be cool.
That would be.
It would be cool.
Just the one time where Overwatch League just goes, we could ignore the seeding just once.
All right, moving on.
Okay,
I will say Paris has looked like dog shit. I don't know. I know they pulled out the win this past week, but they have not looked nearly as strong as they did for the first 3 months. So I have my hopes up. But all right, move down to APAC.
All right. Hunters versus Charge. Turd,
I'm gonna have to say charge, to be honest. And then I think they'll just look really strong, and as I said before, the hunters are just a bit disappointing.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes, this is
Are we
true.
all going with
Rugby.
the charge?
Yeah, I think that one's kind of a
Yeah, I
no-brainer.
think unanimously charge.
Yeah.
This is an interesting.
This is the
matchup.
interesting one. Yes, this is the interesting one. A very flip-flopsy
next two-
Soul
the next
Dynasty.
two are.
Yeah, no, Spark have looked so bad.
Yeah, you're right.
And London stunks on the rise. Glister's a
Here's the thing.
beast.
The only thing I'm going to say about London is I have nothing against London. I think they're a good team, but we've been saying their stonks are on the rise since they won their first couple of games, and they just keep being inconsistent.
Yeah, but you realize they're going up against the kings of inconsistent.
I know.
It's very true. This whole thing, I agree. 100% can
Romeo's
agree.
dad is watching us. Hello, Romeo's dad. Shout out to Romeo's dad.
Shout out to Romeo's dad. Thanks for hanging
Hello.
out.
Watching my dad.
Well, I don't know. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, let's keep it going down here. So let's do picks on this. Let's actually do picks on London Soul.
I'm going to go London.
I'm going with Soul.
I'm gonna go Soul.
I'm actually going London myself. Clean turd. You're the Spitfire fan. What's your honest
Yeah,
opinion on this
I'm
one?
gonna have to go London here.
There you go. There you go. I
Three,
respect
two,
it.
London. Next map is going to be the Hangzhou Spark versus the NYXL.
I'm gonna go Nixel.
Yeah, I have to go Nixel on this one too. Spark have a lot of talent, and they were surprisingly just goose egged last weekend. So I'm worried for them.
I'm going Nixel too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I'm
Third
going next
rugby.
though.
NYXL, yeah.
Yep,
100%.
unanimous. Unanimous.
And then we got the Shanghai Dragons versus TBD.
Shanghai is going to
definitely
beat
gonna go with,
whoever comes up against them. I honestly think
I was gonna say.
the only team that can compete with them is Guangzhou, in my humble opinion.
Oh, that would be that has to be the
I
final.
think so, yeah.
That's what I'm expecting to be the finals. If I was a betting man, that's what I would bet on being the bracket for the finals would be Guangzhou Shanghai.
Good bet, yeah.
Great. So that
So
wraps it up for OWL. But,
just another real quick thing. I know they don't show it on the website, but who do we think is going to be the finals in NA?
The finals in NA? I mean,
Yes.
there's probably a strong case for Shock Florida again.
Shock.
Valiant, if they can...
I'm about to say, I think it's going to be Shock Valiant. to be
Valiant have a shot at it, but, I mean, they kind of faltered last week. I mean, I was really surprised at that result, frankly. So...
If it's going to be an upset, it's either going to be Shock Valiant, it's going to be Shock Valiant, Shock Mayhem, or Shock Rain.
Or Shock. Shock is just going to put in their bench roster and come in and play themselves in the finals.
Shock.
Might be a
The
better
reason-
final than any other team.
The only reason I say it may be the Atlanta Rain is if Atlanta keeps going how they're going, like just slowly rising, they could end up surprising this tournament and actually getting back to form where people thought they should be.
I'll
But
give
here's
you
the
a
thing,
little bit of
Although I
credit
can
on
go
that one.
that far.
Yeah, I'll give you a little
Although I
bit.
can go that far.
Here's the thing. I think Atlanta can beat Paris. I think Atlanta can beat Valiant, and I think Atlanta can beat the Mayhem with how they've been playing.
Fair enough. Fair. I mean, Mayhem's the one I don't
Yeah.
disagree. I don't really agree with. But I mean, if Erster and Baby Bay can pop off like they did this past weekend, sure. I mean,
that's exactly because
but-
like it comes down to DPS when it comes to Atlanta versus Florida, and Yaki just dominated their last matchup.
I feel like Florida's tank line would destroy Hawk and Company.
Alrighty, so unfortunately,
Yeah, we've got to
we
keep
have-
it rolling.
so we're just gonna kind of go through the new patch that dropped yesterday. Notable
very patchy.
changes. Ash Dynamite cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds.
That's actually pretty
Brigida,
huge. That's a 20%
is-
increase in Ash's Dynamite, which is the strongest part of her kit.
Dynamite.
Brigida,
Brigitte cannot overheal anymore. So there's no more plus 50 armor to characters with max health. That's the big one.
That
Yeah,
and
is
that's
so huge.
It's
brutal.
really huge. And, I mean, her
Yeah.
shield got 50% extra health, but if it breaks, the cooldown on it has almost doubled from 3 to 5 seconds.
yeah, that's
The only thing
Yeah.
I'm going to say to this right now, teams in OWL that are going to be affected by that overheal change, Valiant in Florida.
What's the dive teams?
Yeah.
And that's
Valiant in Florida.
if we
have
watched
been
any of if any of y'all
abusing
watched
that.
any of the Fran's Overwatch was it, Charity Cup yesterday, that we saw Brig, and we saw Brig win. And that was on the new patch, but they weren't running dive. They're running her in a double shield composition. So I think all they've done is managed to kill Brig out of dive. Like, that's it. You still need the Brig to counter the Genji, because the shield bash and the CC is still useful for countering our newly buffed Genji that we're seeing all over the place. Brig is still a super strong hero. She's just not going to be good for enabling tracer dives anymore. So,
Yeah.
Play smart.
Yeah.
And also her regen rate has been decreased from 185 health per second.
yeah, it's the regen on the shield itself. If you pull the shield down and let it naturally regen, it's slower as well. Yeah. So not as many shield bashes across the board, I think, with that change, because you're not going to have your shield nearly as much.
D.Va fusion cannons.
Big one.
Movement penalty reduced from 50 to 40%.
Well, the D.Va itself, not the movement penalty.
I'm so happy. I'm a D.Va, a borderline D.Va one trick here, and I'm just happy.
Well, the big one is the buff
The
to
defense
defense matrix.
The
Yeah.
defense matrix is back to where it was before goats.
Yes.
A cooldown reduced from 1.5 to 1 second.
Yes.
It's finally back to where it was before goats.
That's a big change. And I think we'll start see more and more D.Va peppered in, and I think it's gonna take a little time.
Not exactly where it was before goats.
Well, you have to. It's now
Range,
it's not
the
15
range
feet. It's
isn't the
10
same.
feet, but.
But she's had her movement buff since then as well. Don't forget that. I mean, the cooldown on her thrusters went from 5 to 4 since then as well, which is a pretty drastic change. 3 was enough, but they felt like it was too much. They knew they couldn't put it at 3. She was just way OP.
It wasn't OP. What are you talking about?
Also, there was the response on her micro missiles.
Yes, so they're slightly faster.
Yeah, it's just more
after you-
responsive.
Activation delay is
Correct.
so activating.
Which is helpful. Which is helpful for those quick, snappy. You're going to do the dive in, drop the micro missiles, throw the melee down, and you can move a little bit faster while you're firing those fusion cannons.
Junkrat.
Yeah, Junkrat actually got some fairly good changes as well.
Trigger delay reduced from 0.156 to 0.1. Riptire, time to take control of the Junkrat post detonation has been 1.5 to 0.9. So those are some pretty good ones.
Yeah, you can basically instantaneously blast your concussion mines after you throw them out.
Yeah, which is awesome. Then you have your general fixes.
Hold on, what were you gonna say?
I was saying, as a Junkrat one trick, it makes me very happy to see more Junkrat buffs.
Okay, so I don't really play a whole lot of Junkrat. Do you think these are significant? Like, how do you think this will affect your Junkrat gameplay?
I think
we should get Umi on here.
Hold on, let him answer. But fair enough.
Because I don't know how many hours I've got. I've got a lot of hours in Junkrat, but like when you work through his mechanics like a lot, you can notice the slight little changes like in this patch, and it feels a lot nicer to play, and it's a lot smoother now as well.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Have you noticed a change in the Riptire, like being able to go back into using Junkrat? Do you feel like you're going to throw more close range tires, or do you feel like you're getting punished less?
To be quite honest with you, I'm not really one to jump in and suicide tire. So, really, the actual post detonation doesn't really affect me as much. So.
Fair enough.
I didn't see much of a change in that, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think they're just little quality of life changes for Junkrat.
Yeah.
And
especially with his throw out speed also hiked up now.
Right, yeah, they increased the throw-out speed and increased the damage on the bounce-back nades a couple patches ago as well. It wasn't really that long ago. So yeah, Junkrat just continues to get buffs. And another thing Rugby had mentioned prior to us going live that I wasn't aware of, I don't know if it dropped, when exactly it dropped, but the changes to high-level placement games. I thought this was really interesting. Rugby, you want to go ahead and... Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about that?
So... From what I've read with it, it's a long ass thing, but like what it is basically is So the placements are going to be capped at 3,900. So what that means is that even if you're like 4,400, you go to placements, you're going to be placed at 3,900. So what this basically does, or what I got from it, is that it will kind of punish the people who are in GM who are camping in there to kind of get that rank. People who are coming back to Overwatch after a while who were GM, they're not going to be in that GM spot. So it kind of like makes the GMs who are up there be able to like the GMs basically after this will be like real GM players. And I think it's a really good change. I think it's like one step closer to getting an MMR reset.
Right.
I don't think Overwatch will ever go as far as that, but I think it's really good to keep the high level play for all platforms like really, really competitive.
I still think they should introduce an MMR reset, but just do it in stages and do it by how much time you have played on your accounts. But that's okay.
Please.
Yeah.
Seriously,
Never.
if you have a platinum border, you should have an option to reset your MMR. I'm just saying. All right.
I
Some
think
of those people with
Okay,
like
guys,
diamond borders.
Seriously,
That-
like the platinum borders, I mean, they just get so hard stuck. I mean, it's not a personal thing. It is. I'm not talking about my own experience in ranked whatsoever. I'm not hard stuck in gold. That's not what's going on here.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all.
At
All right. Let's close her out. I got a match to do.
All right.
All
You
right.
guys so much for joining us, Turd and Rugby. It was an absolute pleasure to have you guys on here.
Yes,
If
indeed.
you
Thank y'all
guys
very much.
haven't already followed them, you can see them in the small little I'm not sure,
It's-
quarter oval. There. Go ahead and follow them, follow us. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Make sure you guys have your notifications on for Bolt Skunk stream. And a huge shout out to sosaclothing.co. Give us a nice little code to use on their website. It's Stream Console. It's right down there in the bottom of your screen. So if you guys go to sosaclothing.co, it's .co, not .com, and type that in, 15% of your order gets taken off and given to us. And that's it's really huge. It helps us out a lot. We things not and so on and so forth. And also, if you guys haven't already checked it out, please check out nonamenerd.com. They have some awesome things. They just came out with a bunch of new clothing as well. Really cool stuff. Get custom gear, everything you guys can probably want, and it's very reasonably priced. Very reasonably.
If we start shouting out T-Mobile, can I get one of those giant pink T's in the background like they have on Plat Chat? That would be awesome.
Yes. Also, just so you guys know, we are doing a special this podcast only. Bullskunk's eyebrows are going for 5,000 each rather than the typical 5 million. Super cheap deal. That's like 99% off.
One day
so
only.
I'm sure that one day only.
Canada Day
only for the
special.
next- until his next stream ends, that's when the deal ends. So if you guys,
By the way, I was
on
not
that,
consulted in this. I'm just saying.
you didn't have to be.
Oh,
And each eyebrow, all that money goes to a very good cause, and it to the dad joke committee.
yes. So I can buy more books of dad jokes.
So we can
That's-
find more dad jokes.
All
Dad
right.
Thank you
jokes.
guys.
Thank
If
you.
Find a book of
And
dad
I-
jokes. Send it to
Also-
Bullskunk.
Also, shout out to DMC. He provides our music, and he's just absolutely awesome.
And I'm
yeah,
just going to
please
close out by saying congratulations to Apollo by taking not one but 2 championships in CGL this year. Round of applause. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Think about, and also check out Apollo on Twitter. I don't know what they're. Go check it out.
It's
For
up.
you guys.
What's your orange Twitter?
Apollo ESP.
There you go. Go
Yeah.
drop him a follow. We'll see you next
Bye,
time.
guys.
See you
Bye, to the
guys.
folks.
No.
Bye.
Ask them all.
Thank you for having us, guys.
Romeo's
Thank y'all for
dad.
being here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course.